later Michaels, after after you had such a great performance by Dick in Castle, did you guys feel any pressure to really fulfill that role and make it your own, or what did you do different? Was there any kind of, you had to see pressure?
I would have had pressure if I'd have known what a big deal it was. I actually was pretty clueless to the whole franchise, and they had said they kind of wanted to do their own thing with it, and I just showed up, having purposely not watched any of the previous movies, and figuring I would just do my own thing, and no news is good news. And very rarely did Steve correct stuff. They actually just showed me 2 pieces of footage to overlap. I think I just got lucky with the whole thing, and not having done that to myself, I didn't have the pressure. I just kind of went along with what I thought was the right thing to do.
Well, unlike Chris, I was extremely nervous and felt a great deal of pressure to try and copy the gait and the eeriness of Michael Myers. I really, really wanted to nail Nick Castle's walk, and I practiced it a ton and watched the first Halloween over and over and over and over, but being as nervous as I was, I just wanted to run out of frame every time Rick called action, because as being a stunt guy, I'm not used to the time between action and cut taking so long. So I tried my best to do the same job Nick did. So a lot of pressure.
Let me tell you a story. George Wilbur's not here, unfortunately. But when I saw George in the office, we belonged to the same association. And I would see him in the office from time to time. And when I knew he was doing that movie, the part number 4, I said, George, did you watch 1 and 2? And he says, I don't care what the hell you guys did. That was his story.
Yes.
Question for PJ. When it came for casting in the first Halloween, did they have you drop for different roles? Or your role that you end up getting?
No, I only read for Linda, and I read the scene, one of the scenes, I guess. I think it was a scene between me and Loree, and it had the totalies in there. And my version is that I thought that John hired me because I read totally the right way, because after I read the scene, he said, oh, you're the only one that's been in here that has said totally the way I thought it should be read. And I went, well, how else would you do it? And he goes, well, that's why you have the part. And that was really unusual, because you never went on an audition where the director told you, 10 minutes after you read the audition that you have the part. So I was just excited as could be, and went, oh my God. He said, could you please stay and pick your boyfriend? And I went, all right. So we had 3 guys coming in, and we all, the 2 of us agreed that John Michael Graham was the right guy. So this was after we tried to see if my husband at the time, Dennis Quaid, was available, but he wasn't. He was shooting a TV movie, but they did a quick scramble, and I guess that discovered that the dates conflicted. So that would have been fun.
This side, anybody? Or anyone? Yeah. Go ahead.
Out of all the original franchise, is there a favorite that you guys have?
I like the first one.
I like the first one.
I like 1 and 3. Me too.
I like the first 3 or 4 minutes of the second one also.
I guess I would ask you another question. Are you surprised? I mean, I guess surprised would be a good word. Are you finally happy with the success now that you see for Halloween 3? Getting its accolades now after time where I guess all the anger stopped about no Myers.
Yeah, thanks for asking. These festivals have been instrumental for me in discovering that there's a huge audience out there. People have stepped up, and whereas 5 years ago, the overall feel was, yeah, it didn't work out. I'm really sorry. Here's why. Blah blah. Now it's like people, it has an audience. It's got respect, and it means so much to me. I really appreciated all the fans coming and giving some support, because it tells me, it's all
seen it has to agree. You have to agree, it's a brilliant standalone movie.
Yeah.
Thank you. By the way, go ahead and heap some more of that on. Take all the- Before breaking that love fest, though, I did want to put in one good word. We all voted for our own movies, of course, but I thought H2O was really good. We had talked, when Halloween 2 was kind of on the boards, I was voting for the way it wound up. Those of you who know it, it's a like 3 minutes after kind of sequel. It just keeps right on going, the same night of terror. But I was advocating like 1-2 years later, after Loree Strode has survived this incredible trauma, she finally dares to kind of come out of her shell and go to college and try to have a normal life. And then, of course, it's terror on a walled college campus, which is basically what H2O did, and I thought they did it really well.
I agree 100%. Yes, sir, go ahead.
For Brad Loree. You killed everybody in the house. How could you let Buster Rhymes survive?
Well, as you may have noticed, he was such a skillful martial artist that he got the better of me for a moment, and yeah, I don't know how we managed to let him get away. I know a lot of you are upset about that. Oh, I've heard it time and time again. I didn't write the script, just so you know.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I was going to ask him kind of the same question. What was it like getting cage slapped by Buster?
It was wonderful every Friday, payday.
Yes.
For Dick Warlock, what was your time on Spaceballs like?
What was Spaceballs like?
What was your time on
Spaceballs was a blast. Mel Gibson should have hired me on that show, I gotta tell you. There was a thing with Gans, I can't even talk, I had too much wine. John Candy and Bill Pullman, and I'm trying to make the thing as short as I can. They were doing a scene in the motorhome with the tail going, and they were talking about the Prince's Druish and whatever. And Mel Brooks is 50 feet away watching on a video monitor. They were doing everything connected with video. And I said, well, I'll help him. And I started up the steps into the motorhome. It was on a gimbal. And he's yelling and screaming at me, Brooks is. And I walked back over there. He says, I'm the director on this picture. You're not. He says, if I let you do this, I got to let the grip and I got to let the electrician and everybody else do this. And he chewed me out. And he should have inspired me because I had no business going up there to give John Candy a line reading. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't, but it's very important. Anyway, about 40 minutes later, whatever it was, after lunch, he saw I was alone, and he called me over and he said, Dick, I'm sorry, but if I let you do that, he said, I got to let everybody, and I'm the director of the movie. And he said, and you should have fired me, sir. No, every, timeout all's forgiven, and so I was forgiven, but I should have been fired, by right.
Yeah, I do.
So would he.
I would have fired him.
Yes. Next question. Go ahead in the back, yes.
How did Tommy feel growing up in the Halloween world?
How would I feel growing up in the Halloween world? God, I wish I knew. I wish I had the opportunity to do that. But, I couldn't answer that question because I don't understand it.
Well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Explain it further.
I think what it's kind of asking is, maybe after the fact, how will you go on?
If a writer would come to me and ask me, I think we would sit down and we'd say, okay, let's make a trajectory and see exactly where we could take this. I'd love to do it. I'd love to bring the character back. I heard they might have done that somewhere, but I don't know.
Any questions? Yes.
PJ, what role would give you the most acclaim? Is it from Halloween, or would it be like Stripes or Rock High School or anything like that from fans? Like, have you been approached most about?
I really think it's a combination of all those. Those movies have lived on and they've achieved people come to a convention like this expecting, oh, I'm gonna get a picture or sign my Halloween poster picture from Halloween, and they come to my table and they go, oh my God, you were in Rock and Roll High School. I forgot you were in Stripes. So I just feel, really blessed that those movies have continued on. And although I'm known as a scream queen, I really was only in Carrie and Halloween, and then because of those two movies, I was in The Devil's Rejects because Rob Zombie loved those movies. So, but Rock and Roll High School, Stripes, I was in Private Benjamin and Sweet Dreams with Jessica Lange. So a lot of good movies, but those, the ones that, that are out at my table, those are the ones that people just see all the time, and they play them on TV. And because of the Ramones and their legacy, Rock and Roll High School kind of continued its trajectory up, and it's just really nice, and I'm honored to have been a part of all those films, and still here to enjoy them.
Yes, go ahead.
This is also for PJ. What was it like working with Brian De Palma on Carrie, and how was he different with actors than how John Carpenter is?
Night and day. Brian didn't say much, and unlike John, who really allowed you the freedom to do what you wanted, and you felt a very collaborative spirit on the set. And maybe it was true with Brian too, because he kind of let you go free with whatever you wanted to ad-lib, especially my character. I had thanks a lot more, thanks a lot, Carrie. That was my one line in the script, but he kept pushing me in every scene that Nancy Allen was in and saying, you're her best friend, so just say whatever you want. But he would just sit back, and if things went well, he had a sort of a kind of an evil grin that he did. He'd cross his arms and he'd just have this glint in his eye of mischief, like, yeah, that was good. But he didn't say anything, and he would never take you aside and talk to you. But, and I always thought he was making his movie, and so we were all like puppets, and we were moving around, and if we moved around well, and if the DP got the lighting and the focus right, then, it was a take. But I do remember being in dailies, because that was one thing that most directors don't let you do, is go to dailies. That's when they showed the day before, and they screened them in a little room. And we were at Culver City Studios, and it was just something that we did after 5 o'clock. We went and saw the dailies from the day before, and he invited all the cast. And we'd sit there with John Travolta, and Betty Buckley, and Amy Irving, and Sissy, and he'd sit way in the back, and we were allowed to watch the dailies. And I never saw anybody enjoy themselves more at his own movie than Brian De Palma. So that I liked him for, because he really liked everything that everybody was doing. But he, other than seeing that, you wouldn't know it. So he kept his distance, whereas John, you felt like, you were in arm's length